Hello, Dothackers. Welcome to the third episode of the Dothack podcast. This is September 2023, and let's begin a recap of all the things that have happened in the month of September. Starting with the sales of the month. September 1st through September 10th, we had a Nintendo Switch sale for 70% off of the $50 game for Dothack GU Last Recode. So that sale was for $15. And then the current sale we have going on right now began on September 18th and ends tomorrow on September 27th for the PlayStation 4 digital version, going from $50 to $5. So if you've never played Dothack GU Last Recode, you might want to jump on one of these sales. The Switch so far has gone low as 70% off, but the PS4 and the Steam version have always gone for 90% off. And it's just worthwhile to keep an eye out each month. But also the events that have happened, there was a Tokyo Game Show. And at Tokyo Game Show, Bandai Namco had a booth. Unfortunately, there was no new Dothack announced at the Tokyo Game Show. To be expected, I wasn't expecting anything personally, but you never know. However, one interesting thing did come out of Tokyo Game Show Dothack related. There was at least 4 Dothack cosplayers. There was an elk, a Mia, a Kite, and a Blackrose. And I've been looking at all their pictures on social media, and you can find them on Twitter, currently known as X. But these cosplays are pretty awesome, just to have the nostalgia walking around in the Japanese expo halls. And then speaking of conventions and expos, there was a different convention called Jumacon. Now, Jumacon is a tabletop role-playing game convention over in Japan. This one ran on September 23rd, whereas Tokyo Game Show was the 21st to the 24th. And at Jumacon, a group of players from Dothack communities got together to host the Dothack The World tabletop RPG known as Dothack Infinite Generation. So those of you who don't know, the Japanese publisher Kadokawa has a magazine line called Comtique. Now Comtique did several special editions for Dothack, starting with the original series. They did a 3 magazine issue, but also the GU games had a 12 magazine issue, and Dothack GU Trilogy had a 1 magazine special issue. But going back to the first set of magazines, volume 2 and volume 3 of the special edition magazines had game rules for a Dothack tabletop RPG game. Now, this tabletop RPG game had all the rules, the monsters, the items, the characters you could create. You could create your own character with the base class as well as the expanded classes such as Knuckle Master. But you didn't need much. All you needed is a 6-sided die. You did not need any of the traditional dice that you see nowadays on tabletop role-playing games. All you needed was a standard 6-sided die that you could get from any board game, and that's all you needed. So, if you were at Jumacon in Japan this month, and hopefully you got a chance to actually witness this game, but if you didn't get a chance, over on Twitter, formerly or currently known as X, several people have been posting about it, their time doing the Dothack Infinite Generation tabletop role-playing game, such as Onionworks is one to find. You'll see all kinds of screenshots, or not screenshots, but photos taken of them with the magazines, with their characters, and the actual gameplay taking place. But if you're interested in playing for yourself, don't forget, over on our wiki, dothack.info, type that into the URL as is, and you'll see a wiki for Dothack. Now, on there is a link to the translation for Dothack Infinite Generation, because this game was originally printed in magazines, and the magazines were printed in Japanese. So, if you are an English speaker, reader, and you don't know a lick of Japanese, I would recommend going to Dothack Info to get yourself printed out these rules and just hosting your own game at the next tabletop RPG event that you may be attending. And it doesn't stop there. I have personally created a character sheet, a blank character sheet, that you could fill out. Now, the magazines did have examples of character sheets, but these were already pre-filled out. It was a quarter of the page of a standard magazine page, 8.5 by 11, I guess, but they were already filled out, so you couldn't really use them for yourself. I think the idea was you use those characters, but there are rules that you can just make your own characters with your own original fan art or whatever you have. So I made a Photoshop image, which is PSD file, over on our website, dothack.org, where you can go download this PSD file, open it. You can slap on your own character artwork into there, switch over the class title at the header, and print the sheet out and fill it out on a piece of paper. So that way you can have your own character sheets. But also in this month, we only had one birthday for a character for the series, and that was Leos. Leos was the system administrator in the Dothack Infection games. His birthday is September 12th. And then next month of October, we have more birthdays, such as Balmung on the 22nd, Syllabus on the 28th, and My Menace on the 30th. Other things that I've personally created, which I was very excited to do, was creating VTuber or Vroid model t-shirts. So I made one in the style of every officially licensed Dothack t-shirt that I could think of. Now, I do know there are a few more, but unfortunately I was not able to get good quality images to turn them into t-shirts. Now, if you're watching any of my VTuber videos on Dothack Network's YouTube channel, you'll see me wearing some of these shirts over the past year and a half or so. But I've made them all publicly available to download. It's just a texture swap that you could do on your VTuber t-shirts to be wearing real world t-shirts that you could have found since 2002. But they're all there for download. It's just a texture replacement. You just use a program such as Vroid Studio, go into your outfit tab, click on a shirt, create a shirt, and then hit edit texture, and then basically just find the PNG file, and then it replaces the current shirt and the current color of the shirts, because some of these shirts were black, some of the shirts were white, and very rarely there were some shirts of off colors such as red and blue and a few other, oh, there's an orange one. But anywho, all these shirts are free to download from dothack.org if you want to put them on your VTubers. And let's see, other things that I've personally created was animated GIF or GIF, however you want to pronounce it. I made a ton of animations to be used. These were uploaded to Tenor, Tenor. They offer their animations to pretty much every social media, most certainly Discord, Twitter, and a few others. Facebook, I believe, uses a mix of Tenor and Giphy, but these can be searched if you type in Dothack, one word, DOTHACK. You can find all these animated GIFs, and you can use them in your messages. But if you want to see all the GIFs, you're going to have to go to tenor.com, and I believe the page for me is users/Dothack Network. You can see all the GIFs that I've created, and if you click on them, they'll tell you what the keywords are to search for that specific image. Now, last month, or I should say the 20th anniversary, there was a Dothack collection, which we haven't had for a while now. We had 3 in the past, but Dothack collection had a set of new merchandise, which was acrylic keychains, 2 plushes, a set of styrene boards, and a washi tape. The plushes, however, were pretty much the highlight of the set that everyone wants. And living in North America myself, I had to use World Shopping. Now, I have no problem using World Shopping. I've done it before with all the other Dothack collection items. Unfortunately, the prices for the merchandise this time, especially those styrene boards and the quantity of them, which there were 20 different styrene boards, was way in excess that I couldn't justify purchasing. So all I got was the keychains, the 2 plushes, and that was it. I didn't even bother getting the washi tape because there were at least 6, maybe more, maybe 8 different types. So I just stuck with the keychains and plush. But I suspect if the sales do good, they also teased a Tsukasa and Tokyo plush. Now, the plushes themselves are pretty awesome, and I would love to see them, but I believe that they previewed them and not released them at the same time, simply to gauge the sales of the Kite and Haseo plush. And obviously, if the sales of those don't do well, it's a possibility. I'm not saying they would or could. It's a possibility that from a business point, they may not mass produce and sell them. Just a forewarning, you know, obviously if sales aren't there, why take the chance to create a surplus of products that you're just going to sit on and have to liquidate? I know for a fact that CyberConnect 2 in the past had promised Guilty Dragon in the West, and that never did happen. So take that with a grain of salt. And hey, maybe the sales are good for the Haseo and Kite, and maybe the sales will be even better for the Tsukasa and Tokyo plush, that maybe we'll get other characters. I mean, I would love to have maybe a Blackrose plush, perhaps an Adelie plush. Maybe they'll do some of the supporting characters this time instead of the main characters. But anywho, now these plushes could also be found if you live in Japan over at the Kotobukiya store. It's in Akihara, Japan. It's basically CC2 has like a small section of merchandise to sell at these stores. But I've seen photos of people posting on social media of the section for CC2 at these stores filled with all kinds of Dothack merch, including the plushes on the top shelf, the 20th anniversary game art workbook, some of the keychains, and even the soundtracks. That, again, if you happen to be in Japan and you happen to come across one of these stores, you'll be able to find the merchandise. And once again, that is the Kotobukiya stores. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but that's how I'm going to say it. In terms of fanworks, I did see something pretty amazing, and this is a sculpture made of Haseo from Dothack GU. This is his 3rd form, the one with the spikes and all that. Someone made a really nice sculpture, and so I gotta give a mention to Curse of Lolth over on Twitter, LOLTH. Their Twitter name is at CLOLTH. Check out that Haseo sculpture. That is some really fine detail. I was very surprised and amazed of how well they did that sculpture. It kind of inspires me to make my own sculptures of some of my favorite Dothack characters. Maybe someday. So for the meantime, that's all I really have this episode. I would like to go on to say that maybe the next episode I'll have my first guest. I don't have anyone planned at the moment, so if you can get a hold of me that you want to be a guest on the podcast, give me a shout out in the private message or direct message, whatever social media you have, just message at Dothack Network. And let me know if you have some ideas on something that you and I could discuss. I did have a few other people interested, which I will be contacting, that want to talk about Dothack, so don't think I forgot about you. I got you on the top of my list, but if others want to be in an also future episode, just let me know. We'll find something to discuss, your love of Dothack. But other than that, that's all I have today. Next month is October. I have don't know of anything going on next month. Maybe some sales aside those 3 birthdays towards the end of the month. That's the only thing I know of going on. But other than that, what is your favorite Dothack t-shirt that you own or may have seen before? Let me know in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. And other than that, thanks for watching, or thanks for listening.